Prescott Badger football is on the air. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Olson's for Healthy Animals, where good enough just isn't. Arizona Seamless Gutters, quality people, products, and service you can trust. Blind Brothers Arizona, offering premier window treatments in northern Arizona since 1979. Prescott True Value, locally owned and operated since 1982. So much more than a hardware store. Prescott Badger football is also brought to you by the Prescott Unified School District, the Badgers' biggest fans, every child, every day. The City of Prescott, offering beautiful lakes, hiking trails, and recreational parks, we're everyone's hometown. And the Yavapai County Food Bank, making a difference in Yavapai County since 1992. Now, for the call of tonight's game, here's KYCA's John Rust. And welcome to Bill Shepherd Field. It's the third straight game for the Prescott Badgers in the friendly confines in the most beautiful stadium in all the land. Bill Shepherd Field, and the sun is just now setting. The mountains are up against the side, but all eyes are on the field. It's just about time for Prescott Badger football. Good evening, everyone. Jason Zenzaletta, Kelly Cortez, all just snuggled up here, ready to go. I'll tell you what, Kelly. First thing you said is it's not 20 degrees, and that is a blessing up here. I can tell you that after that snowflake game, I will never forget it. Tonight, a balmy 85 degrees at kickoff, perfect football weather in the fall.
Hey, it's great to be with you, and the Benettones are traveling to Italy. That's why I'm in the booth tonight.
That's what I heard. I mean, I think he could probably phone it in, but that's okay. I'm glad to have you here.
Well, it's good to be here.
Well, I'll tell you what. You haven't missed a game yet this year.
I have not missed a game.
And it has been a great season so far for the Badgers.
I really think it's one of the better seasons in the history of Prescott High School football, mainly because we have some pretty good skill players.
We do.
Just
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, tonight, this is a really special night for the Prescott Badgers as well. We got word, and you confirmed it just a bit ago, that we had a big honor for the Badgers today. Tell us about it.
Uriah Tennant was chosen by the Arizona Cardinals to be the Arizona High School Player of the Week. He was awarded that today at 1 p.m. here at Prescott High School.
Oh, man, that is fantastic. And he certainly earned it last week, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was involved in, 6 touchdowns?
Something like that. But the 100-yard interception return, untouched, end to end, just put a capper on the whole thing and finished off a very good Combs team, a better team than we were expecting.
I would imagine Uriah's getting as many letters for football as he is for basketball right now from colleges.
More than likely. I think you're right. Wow. It was a great game last week, but now the real season starts. The conference season begins, and unfortunately for Lee Williams, their conference season opens here in Prescott. This might be a fairly fast game tonight.
You mean we might have running clock sometime in the second half?
We'll probably never get a running clock as fast as we did against that first team.
La Jolla Community.
Thank you. I mean, 28 points before you. If you blinked, you missed the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that fast. I doubt we're ever really going to see that again, but I have a feeling by the second half, just looking at Lee Williams' record, this is a really off year for them.
Yes, it is. Just 2 years ago, they won the Grand Canyon region.
That's right, and they were a good team.
They were good.
But this year they're 1-4, and if you look at the stats, this gets uglier as the season goes on. Their lone victory was a 1-point win against Sierra Linda. They opened the season with a 7-point loss to Havasu, but then to lose to Wickenburg, which I believe is a 3A team.
That's correct. They're the same league as Chino.
That's right. Then they lost to Moon Valley 34-18, which is not a bad 4A team. And then to go to Mojave, which is, again, a 4A team that became a 3A team in football a few years ago, and to lose 48-13 over there.
Yeah.
Wow. Not a good way to come into Prescott.
Now, we were talking about this being a great year for the Badgers.
Right.
The last 4 games, those 4 opponents that the Badgers have played came into those games undefeated.
That's right.
And we ended up 3-1 against them. Right now, according to Max Preps, Prescott's ranked 7th. Northwest Christian is ranked 8th, who we beat 42-41 several weeks ago.
Yep.
Vista Grande is 9th. And by the way, Vista Grande got beat by the #1 ranked team in Class 4A, Arizona College Prep, last night 42-12.
Ooh.
So Arizona College Prep must be pretty good.
That must be. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to pause briefly here for the national anthem here on KYCA, and we're going to bring that to you here in just a few moments, and then we'll take a break and have our pregame interview. So, folks, stay with us and join in. We're going to hear the national anthem. The color guard is now approaching the middle of the field, and we're going to bring that to you live here on KYCA, and then we'll take our first break of the night. Prescott High School Marching Band going to be. And now that was the national anthem here at Prescott High School. Game time just a few minutes away. We're going to take a quick break here on KYCA with our pregame show. Stick around. We'll have the pregame interview and then action on the field. That's all coming up in just a few moments here on KYCA. Thanks for joining us tonight. Back right after this.
With Prescott defensive end Rutger Funk. And Rutger, well, tonight your first region matchup of the year. You've got Lee Williams High School. This is a team that always seems to give Prescott a good run for the money. What's it going to take to beat the Volunteers tonight?
It's going to take hard work. We're going to pound it out in practice today, and violence and being physical is our goal. And we're going to come ready for Lee Williams on Friday.
So what do you think are some of the big strengths for Lee Williams you're going to have to contend with?
Their run game, I haven't watched a lot of film, but I think their run game is pretty good, and we're working on containing the edge.
And, well, third home game in as many weeks. Just talk about how good it feels for 3 weeks in a row, being able to play at home, not worry about boarding the bus and getting home late at night.
It feels amazing. Like all the energy from all the friends and students and just being home.
Okay, well, Rutger, I want to thank you very much for joining us here tonight on our pregame show. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
This is Ann Wilson with Yavapai County Food Bank. No one should ever go to bed hungry, but with inflation on the rise, the need is greater than ever. Did you know that you can make a real impact and get an end-of-the-year tax credit for your generosity? $400 single and $800 married. Call 928-775-5255 today to donate to the Yavapai County Food Bank. Help us feed the hungry, support your community, and make a difference. That's 928-775-5255. Yavapai County Food Bank. Together, we can change lives.
Back at Bill Shepherd Field, Jason Zenzaletta, Kelly Court is in. Getting ready for the start of tonight's game. The Badgers are getting ready to take the field for the first time tonight. All eyes at the northeast corner of the end zone. The Badgers are getting ready to bring the flags out onto the field. And we're almost set for Badger football here on KYCA and at Bill Shepherd Field. Not quite standing room only, but a great crowd as usual here. I'll tell you what, you've got a captive crowd in Prescott whenever it's a football night.
I will tell you that in all sports, Prescott really supports Prescott High School sports teams. There have been a number of times that I've been in the Valley watching Prescott High School sports, and Prescott has more fans in the stands than the home team does.
That's right. And here they come. The American flag, the state flag, and of course the great big Badger down there getting ready for tonight's ball game. Man, oh man, what a great, great entry into the game, and we're ready for Prescott Badger football. I'll tell you what, folks, this is going to be a good one tonight, but I also think, as I said, Kelly, I think this is going to be a fast one tonight. Lee Williams, again, 1-4, opening the conference season. Prescott really, I hate to say it, does not have a whole lot of competition in the conference this year. Everybody seems to be having an off year.
I think Coconino's decent.
You're right.
Flagstaff's definitely better than they were a year ago.
Okay.
And don't sell that coach short out in Prescott Valley by the name of Bob Young. I have seen his teams play for a long time, and his teams tend to get better week in and week out throughout the season.
Now, that's true. By the time we get out to Prescott Valley about 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, it is going to be something. It's always a barn burner out there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. And, of course, folks, there's a lot more happening tonight. John Rust on assignment tonight. He'll be back in 2 weeks. We're looking forward to that because we're going to be traveling up to Flagstaff to the Dome. That's always a good game up at the Dome.
And that's on a Thursday night.
The official shortage is really starting to make itself known around the state. We're seeing a lot more games this year on Thursday.
Exactly, and that's totally the reason why, what you just stated, lack of officials. So if there's anybody complaining at the games, really complaining about officials, I'm somewhat motivated to go in and say, hey, go to the next officials meeting and sign up to be an official.
There you go. You bet. All right, all right, folks, give me a second. I got to tell Kelly a story. Kelly, I got to tell you a story. In my old high school, we had a freshman and sophomore in a JV game for basketball, and there was a guy in the stands who was wearing a T-shirt that looked like a referee's shirt, and they were one ref short. They called him down. Have you ever reffed a game? Well, a youth game once. All right, you're in.
You're in.
And he did a good job. He kept up. It was good. They put him at midcourt, and he was just watching the action. It was good. Okay, not quite what you could do for football these days, though. You really got to keep up with the teams. Okay, looks like that the Badgers are going to receive the first opening kickoff here. We're going to see what they can make of this. We're just about ready for action. Folks, you are listening to Prescott Badger football on the news, 1490 AM and 103.5 FM, KYCA, Prescott, Arizona, USA, KYCA.info, YouTube channel, KYCA Digital, and all other sundry channels along with that. And folks, if you're not here tonight and you're watching us, welcome you, and we're thrilled to have you on the air here with us tonight as the Badgers get ready to kick off, or at least to receive, for the conference season. Williams doing a shift on their kickoff now.
I have an interesting story about the guy who that school in Kingman is named after.
All right, man, I want to hear it because here goes a short kickoff and we are underway. Fielded at the 35, trying to get some room, and he brings it all the way back to the other side and turns the corner, and he's got daylight over midfield, runs into his own tackler. Can't be brought down, finally brought down at the 32-yard line. Fantastic return. And who was that?
Adam Lloyd.
There you go.
Number 21.
That is a never say die kid. He goes right through those tacklers. 28-yard return, and the Badgers start on the Lee Williams 32-yard line. And I hate to say it, but
pretty good field position.
That was good field position. That was also a good return, and now it looks like there is a penalty. The referee was signaling. I didn't quite catch the signal here.
It looks like it's going against the Volunteers.
No, I don't know. It's going against.
Oh, no.
It's going against Prescott. So they're going to bring the ball back, and the signal was 15-yard penalty. So
that's unsportsmanlike conduct.
Ooh, right away, that is not good. Okay, so the Badgers have it at their own 47, 1st and 10, and here we go. Uriah Tennett in the gun, and we are underway here at Bill Shepherd Field. Last week, Uriah was unbelievable. Let's see if he can top that this week. takes the snap, it pitches off to the left, and there goes number 21. Oh, just about broke it all the way to the end zone. Finally brought down back at the 33-yard line, and that's a first down for the Badgers.
Again, Adam Lloyd.
Adam Lloyd, I have never seen anybody like him on this team for a long time. He has done excellent work, and we are thrilled to have him too. I'll tell you, we've got a bevy of talent on the Badgers this year.
We certainly do.
It's a great team. And we have another penalty. 2 penalties in 2 plays already. Maybe this game's not going to be so quick after all. So here we go, marking it off from the 33, and this is going to be another 15-yarder. Wow.
I did not see the official signal. Maybe we're going to get a signal now.
I didn't even see the flag, to be honest. So now the Badgers have it. 1st and 10 on the 19-yard line. And we're just underway here, folks. The ball has moved back and forth. Let's have a play without a flag. Fake pitch, Uriah takes it to the right. He's scrambling now. He's all the way back to the 40. Throws it down the middle of the field. Incomplete, right over the head of a Badger.
He not only had to dodge some would-be volunteer tacklers, he had to dodge the referee as well on that play.
Well, I'll tell you what, last week, if there was one thing that Combs really had going for them, Uriah seemed to be hurried on almost every play.
Yes.
They had people in the backfield quickly. So a little bit of a problem for the Badgers, that O-line, but they are tough. They're hanging tough. And again, 4-1, you can't argue with that. So 2nd and 10, again at the Lee Williams 19. Here goes Uriah in the gun, fades over to the right-hand side, looking long, throws it into the end zone in the corner, touchdown. Oh! Pushed out of bounds, and they're calling it an incomplete pass. Wow, I think that was Josiah Peoples there, I believe.
Exactly, and Josiah and Uriah are best of friends. They go everywhere together.
Well, I'll tell you, they connect so well out there,
yeah.
Offense and defense. They are tough. And it was right in the corner, and it was in and out of his hands. So third and 10 now at the 19 for the Badgers. They have a good kicker. So Uriah fades over again to the right, out of the gun. Looking long, throws into the end zone again, and at the feet of the Badger, and incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
Yeah, I didn't catch.
I think that was Josiah again.
It was Josiah again. So I think it brings up 4th down, does it not?
Yeah, this is a 4th and 10 now. They're on the 19. They've got a good kicker, but Uriah is looking for some guidance here. And I think I see Gunderson coming out. Nope, they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. That doesn't surprise me.
4 wide right. Uriah all alone in the backfield. 4th and 10. Fake handoff, goes to the right one more time, throws against the body into the back of the end zone, and incomplete, just over the. Oh. Okay, so the ball goes over to Lee Williams on the 19. 1st and 10 for the Volunteers. Okay, a little rusty.
Hey, let me tell you, do I have time to tell you who Lee Williams was?
Real fast.
Lou Williams was the principal at Kingman High School and was killed in a railroad explosion. He was volunteering for the Kingman Fire Department and was killed in summer of 1972 in an explosion.
In the big explosion.
At that time, the superintendent of schools here in Prescott was Jim Topp. His wife was a sister to Lee Williams.
Wow. I knew there was a Prescott connection. I couldn't remember that. So,
yeah.
All right, 1st and 10 for Lee Williams. Takes the snap, hands off, and fakes it, but the Badgers are not fooled. And he's going to lose about 3 yards right there. Couldn't catch the number on the quarterback, and we were having some problems with that earlier. I'm thinking the screens are a problem. Number 6, I believe.
I think you're right, which is Lucas Least.
Okay, so there we are. 2nd and about 11. They're going to give him some forward progress there. So if it's number 6, okay, Lucas Least, he's a sophomore. Hands off up the middle to one of the running backs who finally makes it around the right-hand side and out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. He got a few yards there, but 3rd and long for the Volunteers. Looks like about 3rd and 9.
And I believe that was the running back was Cameron Paulson, I believe.
Well, Paulson took a quick dive around the right-hand side. Again, 3rd and about 8.5 yards for Lee Williams. 9:57 to go in the first quarter. No score so far. Badger defense holding, and it snapped over his head. The quarterback picks it up at about the 3. The Badgers have him. He throws it down the sideline, incomplete, and here comes the flag. And that's got to be intentional grounding there.
I would think so. I definitely would think so.
That was just a hair away from a safety there. They had him in their sights, and he managed to get the ball off, but I think that was in vain. As the officials are talking of this over, and that came in so fast that had to be intentional grounding, which means that Lee Williams is going to get pushed back, and they're going to lose the down.
Oh, they waved it off.
Oh, well, he was out of the pocket.
Yeah.
So you have to give him that.
And as long as the ball goes beyond the line of scrimmage, original line of scrimmage, then there's no intentional grounding.
That was close too. So 4th and about 11 now, and the Volunteers are going to punt it away. Josiah Peoples, I believe, is standing all by himself at midfield. Or is that Uriah?
That is Uriah Tennant.
Okay, so Uriah is at the 48-yard line, and they're going to stop the clock here. We seem to be in a little bit of a mess to begin with. We've had a couple of penalties right off the bat, and now they're going to call, I'm thinking, delay of game against Lee Williams.
That's what they did.
So back another 5 yards, and now we're talking 4th and about 16.
Ball sitting on the 12-yard line.
The punter's on the goal line, and Uriah's at the 45. Well, let's see what this punter's got in him. Get the ball away. 9:45 remaining, almost over his head. He just gets the ball away, and it's going to bounce at about the 45. Uriah's moving away, takes a Lee Williams bounce, goes into Badger territory, and stopped at the 44-yard line. Not a bad punt at all.
Yeah, very good punt.
He got a good end over end there. Uriah wisely got away from it, and the Badgers are going to have the ball. Hey, folks, tonight's Badger broadcast sponsored in part by Arizona Seamless Gutters, quality people, products, and service you can trust. One of our fine Badger sponsors here on KYCA. And I know that Travis Stedman is looking forward to basketball season like nobody's business.
Yeah,
I tell you, and I think you're right. We're saying a little prayer every football game for Uriah Tennant to come out of the season with no problems.
He is such a competitor, Uriah is.
Oh, yeah. 1st and 10. Uriah takes the snap. Long pass over the middle field, and then caught by Gunderson. Just about broke the tackle and down to about the 2-yard line.
That ball went about 45 yards in the air.
That was a beautiful pass, right a yard ahead of his defender, and he just about got there. So a 1st and goal at about the 3-yard line for the Badgers. Gunderman, I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm learning too, you know. All right, 1st and goal for the Badgers. Uriah in the gun, hands it off, up the middle, and there it goes. Touchdown, Badgers, right there. Didn't catch who it was. Looks like Lloyd.
It was Adam Lloyd.
Adam Lloyd, no surprise there. And the Badgers take the lead 6-0 here with looks like about 8.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter, about 8 minutes and 15 seconds. So a couple of Badgers come sprinting onto the field. They got to have 11 out there.
There was a huge hole on that play.
I don't think he was touched.
No.
And the kick for Gunderman right down the middle, and we're got a ball game going. So, with 8:13 remaining in the first quarter, it's Badgers 7, Lee Williams nothing. Let's take a 30-second break here on the News 1490, and we'll be back right after this.
Did you know that Prescott True Value has a new department with its own building? That's right, Last Chance Clearance Center is now open in the historic gas station adjacent to Prescott True Value. A one-of-a-kind bargain center with everything 50% to 90% off. That's right, everything is at least 50% off all the way to 90% off. Last Chance Clearance Center is open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 to 5. Stop in and check out all the amazing bargains right next door to Prescott True Value at 826 Miller Valley Road in Prescott.
Back at Bill Shepherd Field, 7-0 Badgers. Beautiful little drive right there, just 2 plays basically.
Thanks to that about 55-yard pass play.
That was fantastic. Now the Badgers were starting to click out there. So 7-0 Badgers, they're going to kick off, and we're going to see what Lee Williams can do about this. Remember, they lost to Mojave last week, 48-13. Mojave, a 3A team, formerly a 4A. And there goes the kick, long and into the end zone, and that's going to come back to the 20. First down for Lee Williams.
And the thing that's different on kickoffs about high school football versus college or pro is once the ball goes into the end zone, it's dead.
That's right.
Dead ball.
What do you think of the new pro rules on the kickoff? You got to think, I know they're trying to protect their investments.
It looks weird.
It does look weird. I can't get it. There's no other way to describe it. Weird is a good way to do that. You got to see it to believe it, folks. Okay, 1st and 10 for Lee Williams. About 9:13 to go here in the first quarter. I misspoke. Hard to see. I think glasses are in order for me pretty soon. In the gun, quarterback takes the ball, hands off up the middle, through the line, managed to get about 5 yards before he's brought down by a bevy of Badgers. Up to about the 24. They're going to give him 4 on that one. 1st and 10. We got 9 minutes to go.
The guy that led the Badgers on that stop was Cooper Kassoon.
Got it. Okay, the quarterback is Morgan Quinn right now for Williams, number 13. He's a junior, 5'9", 190 pounds, and tough enough out there. I imagine he's probably their top quarterback right now. 2nd and about 6 for Lee Williams. One man in motion. Out of the gun comes the quarterback. Quick screen pass off to the right. It avoids one Badger, another one brings him down, and now we've got about a 3rd and 2 situation coming up on the next play.
Brought down by Adam Lloyd.
Again, see? I wonder if Adam can win the Cardinals Player of the Week if he keeps going like this, you know? Uriah is going to have to just move over and deal with it.
There you go.
Okay, 3rd and about 3 for Lee Williams here. I hate to say it's important at this point, but if you go down 14-0 to the Badgers, you're in a hole, no matter when the game is. So we'll call it Quinn out of the gun and then across the line. Did the Badgers?
Question is, were they drawn off side or did they?
There it is. That's one thing Lee Williams has done really well. So there you go. 1st and 10 for Lee Williams on the 32-yard line. Another set of downs for Quinn and his guys. Okay, 1st and 10 for the 1st and 10 for the Volunteers. Beautiful night tonight for football. Handoff up the middle once again. And finally pursued by the Badgers. I think they're going to give him probably a couple of yards on that one before they finally pushed him back.
It's interesting that according to the stats, coming into this game, the Volunteers had 1,038 yards passing, but only 359 yards rushing.
Wow.
So they have not rushed the ball very well at all.
They must be thinking, I mean, last week Combs had that good backfield back there that really put it to the Badgers and kept them in the game. So
kept it close.
2nd and long 9, we'll call it. Fades back. Badgers are in the backfield now, and a short screen off to the sidelines. He gets about 6 yards on that one, and they're going to call him down, about the 38-yard line. So again, a 3rd and short situation here, about 3rd and 4.
Down by the cornerback, Isaac Brazino, number 9.
I swear we call different great names every week for the Badgers. They've got a great, great bunch of talented kids this year. Outside of Uriah, I mean, well, you know, we call a lot of names a lot, but there's some great kids down there. Okay, third and a long 5, long 4 for Lee Williams here. Trying to draw the Badgers off sides, nothing doing. One Badger in the backfield, quick snap, quick fade, right hands. Oh gosh, sorry guys, I'm getting there. Complete pass over on the side, another screen pass. Didn't get the first down that time.
Adam Lloyd knocked the ball carrier out of bounds.
They're not giving him any forward motion. I'm surprised. I thought he got a few yards on that. So 4th and 5 at your own 36, 37-yard line. And I think they're going to bring the punter in anyway.
They are.
Well, okay, Uriah Tenette's back at about the 30-yard line. Their punter is doing a pretty good job tonight. The one that he did went about 45 yards. Here it comes. Another good end-over-end kick. It's going to bounce at the 40 and go out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. 37. They'll call it about the 37.
37 is where the official marked it.
And again, Uriah backs away from that one. Probably a good thing. And the Badgers will have, again, good field position to open their third drive.
They might be punting away from Uriah.
Smart move.
Yeah.
There's some intelligence there. I tell you, you get the sense tonight, it's the opening conference season. Everybody seems to be a little off tonight. Maybe it's just me, but everybody got off to a ragged start. I think the Badgers are starting to pull it together now as Uriah's in the gun. He's got 3 wide right, 1 wide left, nobody in the backfield. Now Lloyd in motion, fades back again, moves to the right. Uriah in trouble, kind of, and he's going to take it himself. Crosses the 50 to the 40 and down finally at about the 36-yard line. Good run for Uriah, about 28 yards there.
There was some good blocking that he had, which created a lane right next to the sideline. This side of the field right in front of the Badger bench, and ended up picking up about 25 yards.
This is the problem for every defense. You can hurry Uriah. That happens a lot. But, man, he can take off.
He sure can. He can not only take off, he can stop and start quick.
Yes, that's something. So, okay, false start on the Badgers, so that's going to come back 5 yards. We're going to have a 1st and 15. No, the chains don't move. The chain gang was getting ready to move. Nice try, guys, really. But 1st and 15 now for the Badgers at the 42-yard line of Lee Williams. 4:29 remaining here in the first quarter. 7-0 Badgers right now. And here we go. False handoff. Uriah to the left, looking short pick. Oh my gosh! Now that was something. Bounced out of one Badger hands and into the hands of another.
Incomplete pass.
Darn it! It looked like he got it. I mean, it was right into his hands.
Yeah, I think they ruled it incomplete. What's amazing to me is that when Uriah being a left-hander, he's in his right mind, by the way.
Yes.
And when he's going to his left, going to his right, he throws the ball very well.
He does. Most people can't throw against their body like that.
Yeah.
So again, Uriah stops, goes right up the middle. I think that was a broken play right there.
It was. Actually, I think he was going to pitch it to Adam Lloyd, and there was a defender from the Volunteers that really came in and disrupted that play.
But as you said, Uriah can turn on a dime and just took off right up the middle and
Yes.
managed to pull out about 5 yards on that. So 3rd and 10 for the Badgers, a 7-0 lead, and the clock is ticking. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. One man in motion, that would be Uzziah Peoples, and he's looking for him, fading off to the left. Lee Williams, oh my gosh, Lee Williams got Uriah by the back of the neck and drug him down, and he's going to lose a couple of yards. Like I said, he gets hurried almost every time, but it's rare they catch him. They got him that time.
What you're suggesting is that maybe the Badger line needs to give him a little more protection.
You know, if there is a problem, it's the O-line just a
Yeah.
little bit. But, again, Uriah can get himself out of most situations. That time he couldn't, and so the Badgers are going to be punting. Standing at the 50, the receiver's down at about the 10. This could get very interesting. Badgers don't punt often, but when they do, they manage to pull off some good stuff. And a kick away from the receiver into the far corner, and that's going to bounce to the 10, to the 5, and barely into the end zone. Nice try for the corner.
Boy, that almost did not go in. It only went into the end zone like a yard or two.
So, with 2:43 remaining here in the first quarter, the Badgers are up 7-0. Lee Williams is about ready to start another series on their own 20-yard line. Folks, tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Badgers' biggest fans, the Prescott Unified School District. Every child, every day. Be sure to support your Badgers and the school district with your Arizona tax credit. So go to PrescottSchools.com for more information. All right, folks, 1st and 10 for the Volunteers. Again, we're closing into the end of a very, I would say, almost uneventful quarter so far. 7-0 is the score. Quinn fades back. I'm just going to call it Quinn. Finally, the Badgers get him in there, and he finally gets a screen pass off just barely. And actually, they're going to get some positive yardage out of this. And I'd say about, in the end, about 6 yards, but 3 Badgers nearly had him right there.
Yeah, he was actually releasing the ball as he was getting hit.
He was going down. A split second more, and that would have been a tremendous sack.
And again, the quarterback for the Volunteers is Morgan Quinn. And he's thrown for some yards this year, obviously.
He's done good, and the screen pass seems to be working for the Volunteers right now. 2nd and about 3. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 is the score. Lee Williams on their own 27, 28-yard line here. Handoff up the middle once again. Badgers nothing doing there, and I think he's going to lose a yard or two on that.
The Badger defensive lineman that really penetrated on that play was number 56, Gunnar Parra.
Yep. We've been calling his name a few times this year.
Yeah, 6'3", junior.
You know, I know we're losing Uriah this year. We're losing some good players off this team. The Badgers seem to be having another good underclass again this year. I mean, they've got some great kids coming up.
Which gives you, you got to credit the coaching staff.
Oh, yeah.
For generating some motivation to get players out.
3rd down and about 2. They're going to give him a yard. Again up the middle, and this time I think he got the first down. We'll call it about 5 yards. They're not even waiting this time. He got up to about the 33, and that'll move the chains. Clock ticking now, under a minute to go here in the first quarter. 7-0, and Lee Williams is in no hurry to get things rolling here. So we've got 2 teams grinding it out down here. I'm a little surprised.
I am too.
Okay, 1st and 10 for Quinn as he backs up into the gun. Got a spread offense right now. 2 guys in the backfield, and Quinn himself going to pitch it back. Fake handoff and pitch back, and he makes the turn on the right-hand side and up to about the 39-yard line on that one. So we'll say give him 5 yards on that.
I believe the pitch man is Thomas Dockstader for Lee Williams.
Nice.
He's a senior.
Okay, nice pickup of about 6 there. Don't think they're going to get another playoff as we're down to 10 seconds and counting. They're in no hurry. Beautiful night tonight, that's for sure, and the temperature's just now cooling off, and there is the horn. So we are at the end of the first quarter. Prescott Badgers leading Lee Williams in the first conference game of the season by a score of 7-0. We're going to take a 30-second break. Be back with the second quarter right after this.
It's Gina with the City of Prescott. It's time for this year's bulk item collection event, and we'll be coming through your neighborhood to collect those items that are too big for your regular trash bins beginning August 19th through October 4th. Remember to bag, box, bundle, and tie your items. Place them neatly at the curb by 6 a.m. of your designated Monday. To find out your week for this special event, go to PrescottRecycles.com. Bulk item collection is exclusive to residential trash customers. Commercial businesses and communities on dumpsters are not eligible.
Back at Bill Shepard Field to open the second quarter, Badgers leading 7-0 against Lee Williams. Lee Williams 1-4 coming into the game tonight in the opening weekend of conference play for the Grand Canyon Conference. And I'll tell you what, the 6 teams in the conference, like you said, there's some that are good, some that are surprising. You just never know. So tonight, Flagstaff is at Mingus Union to open the conference season for them, and the Bradshaw Mountain Bears are hosting Coconino tonight. It's going to be interesting to see.
That'll be an interesting game.
Yep. So here we go. It is 2nd and 5 on their own 39-yard line, and Lee Williams has the ball, 3 spread out right. Got to think Quinn is thinking pass here. He fades left. Badgers are in the backfield. They've slowed him down. He's going to turn the corner, probably get the first down and get out of bounds at the 45. And Lee Williams is going to have another first down.
The Volunteers lined up in the Wildcat position where the running back took the hike from center directly. And again, Thomas Dockstader was the running back. Almost got tackled in the backfield by a would-be Badger, but was able to run around the end for a first down. The ball sitting at the Volunteer 43.
Okay. So 1st and 10 for Lee Williams. Both teams grinding away right now. 7-0 is the score. Long fade for Quinn. Quick pass up the middle, incomplete, off to the right just a little bit. Had a couple of Badgers around him, so that was going to be a tough pass if he could get it in there.
Good zone coverage by the Badger secondary on that play. So it is going to bring up 2nd and 10. Jason, I do have maybe out of timeout a comment to make about maybe the Badgers coming into this ball game kind of taking the game lightly, mentally.
You know, I was wondering about that. Oh, quick pass off. I think he got it tipped right there.
It was deflected. Badgers had a good pass rush on number 13, the quarterback for Lee Williams, Morgan Quinn. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
You know what? I hated to say it. I was thinking about that just a little bit. 1-4 coming in, not, a little bit off their game this year. Maybe the Badgers are, and it's the last game of a 3-game homestand.
That's right.
You get a little comfortable. Well, we'll see how long that lasts. I think the coach will take care of that little problem if it is a problem.
Yes.
3rd and 10 now. Quinn in the back, out of the gun. He's going to look for the pass up the middle, and he's hurried again. The Badgers have him by the foot, and that's going to be a sack back on the 30-yard line, 12-yard loss. And the Badgers finally got him.
A whole host of Badgers. The first Badger to be in on that sack was number 32, Brody Hanna.
Brody's been all over the place this year. He's been doing great.
Obviously, it's going to bring up a punting situation for the Volunteers. The ball is sitting on the 33-yard line of the Volunteers.
4th and way too long. Uriah is on his own 30 right now, waiting for the ball. Here we go. Long punt this time. I think Uriah might want to take this. No, he's gonna wait on it. Little bounce and down to the 26-yard line, and nobody really wants to kick to either returner this evening.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Got two good ones out there. Okay, so the Badgers are going to start on their own 26-yard line. 7-0 is the score, 10-12 remaining in the first half. Okay, if they're going to light a fire, now would be a good time. Figuratively, excuse me. Beautiful night tonight. And then the Badgers have an off week next week before they go to NAU and play in the Dome. Then they're at Bradshaw, and then they host Coconino, and then they're in Cottonwood. This is an easy schedule this year. So 1st and 10 for the Badgers. Uriah in the backfield, hands off up the middle. Looks like Brody again. Nothing doing. I think he got a yard or two, and that was it. Actually,
that was, it was number 9, Isaac Brazino, the ball carrier.
Yep.
If he gained anything, it was only a yard. It's actually a gain of 2. 2nd and 8.
Okay, we'll call it that. Out of the gun, Uriah. It looks like a broken play. He's going to take it over to the right-hand side, to the sidelines. I think he's going to try for the first. I think he just about got it. About a yard shy.
It is a yard shy. The ball's going to be placed at the Badger 35-yard line, where it will be 3rd and 1.
You know, give the Badgers credit. They are tough on both sides of the ball, but Lee Williams is surprising them tonight just a little bit, I think. All right, there goes Brody. He got the first down and more.
It's Adam Lloyd.
Lloyd, excuse me. I was going to say Adam Lloyd. I really was. But first down, that's good enough, and that puts it up at about the 43-yard line. And their Badgers are not waiting. They're moving now. 1st and 10, 42. Uriah hands off once again, and up the middle, nothing doing there, about a yard. And they're saying there was a fumble down there. And they fumbled it away. Lee Williams has the ball. Oh, my goodness, down at the 44. And the Badgers turn it right over just as they were starting to get some fire under them.
I'm not sure who with the ball carrier there. It might have been Jacob Chamberlain, the junior.
Couldn't quite tell in the scrum down there, to be honest. Okay, so 1st and 10 for Lee Williams, and they're on the Badger 44-yard line. Let's see what they can do with this with about 9:15 remaining in the first half and a 7-0 deficit for the Volunteers. So 3 wide left, 1 wide right, 1 man in the backfield for the Volunteers, and Quinn out of the gun hurries off to the right. And is surrounded by the Badgers. Nothing doing there. Out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. That didn't go anywhere.
Actually, it's going to lose a couple yards.
Yeah, they're going to mark it back at about the 48. So 2nd and about 14 on this one.
Yeah, loss of 4.
The Badgers are getting off the line a lot faster now than they were in the first quarter. They're getting their footing under them, and this is a good thing. I think we're going into fall break today, aren't we?
We are. They no school this week.
This coming week, yep, that's right. I was wondering about that, and yet we have a wonderful crowd out here tonight. Good way to see the fall season get started, fall break. Handoff up the middle this time, open field, and finally they trip him up, and they're going to call it dead at about the 43-yard line. So 3rd and about 9, a 6-yard gain for the Volunteers.
That was a handoff to number 22, Dylan Norbert.
Dylan Norbert, okay.
Picked up about 6 yards or so. It's still going to bring up 3rd and 9.
They've been handing off the ball to several players, so there's no one really dominant out there. But as you said, Kelly, they're predominantly a passing team. Same thing for the Badgers, but both of them content to keep it on the ground for the most part tonight.
The Badgers are much more balanced offensively than Lee Williams is.
Yes. So 3rd and 9 now on the Badger 44-yard line. 7.5 minutes to go. Clock is ticking. And a 7-0 lead for the Badgers. Quick fade back throw right over the right-hand side. Not even close. Nope. Overthrew his receiver, and that brings up a 4th down.
And the quarterback, Morgan Quinn, was getting some pressure by one of the Badgers.
Yeah, they certainly haven't let up on him tonight. They've done a good job getting into the backfield and sacked him once.
Number 56 for the Badgers, Gunnar Parra, almost got him.
Yeah, Gunnar, that's a name we're going to be calling a lot next year. 6'3" junior, he is tough. Okay, so another punt for Lee Williams. Uriah standing back at about the 10-yard line. One good breakaway would break this game open. So here we go. Punt, yep, well away from Uriah, and it is going to, and he's going to take it at about the 8-yard line. And here we go. Uriah breaks through a couple of tackles up the middle, breaks another one, gets up to the 25, and finally is dragged down about the 27-yard line. About a 20-yard return for Uriah to net, and gives them decent field position to open this drive.
Looks like the Badgers are going to start at about their own 28.
Well, folks, tonight's game sponsored in part by the city of Prescott. They offer beautiful hiking trails and parks in everybody's hometown. Take advantage of it, especially since it is the fall break out there. Get your family out there, go hike a trail. 7-0 Badgers, 7:10 remaining, and here we go. 1st and 10 on their own 27-yard line. Uriah Tennett again fades right. Long pass up the middle for Josiah Peoples. Incomplete, knocked away by the Volunteers. I don't think Josiah's gotten one yet today.
Uriah through that pass, it was underthrown. The intended receiver was Josiah Peoples, and I think he was rushed a little bit.
Yeah, and he had one guy on him who did a great job on coverage. So 2nd and 10 for the Badgers. That stops the clock with about 7 minutes remaining. One man in motion, 3 Badgers off to the right. Uriah goes in that direction. He's hurried. There's 2 in the backfield, now 3. Long pass up the left sideline. Finally, Josiah's got it at the 30, at the 44-yard line. 1st down.
That was a great thing for Josiah to do. He was going deep, and then he recognized that Uriah was being pressured, and he came back up the field, and that's what caused him to be open.
When you got the good connection they have, Josiah, man, one of the smartest kids out there I have ever seen, I'll tell you. And he and Uriah have put together some great passes this season so far. Uriah, a quick rush and a toss off to the right-hand side, right up the middle, off to the right a little bit, and probably about 4 yards.
Option play, pitch to Isaac Brazino.
Yeah, Brazino. I thought that was it. I got one number. I got one. And if I can't recognize Uriah from here, I might as well just leave. So it'll all be yours, Kelly, you know. All right. 2nd and a long 5 for the Badgers at midfield. They're about the 49-yard line. Clock ticking away, 6 minutes to go in the first half. Handoff up the middle, nothing doing there, and I think the Badgers even lost a yard or 2 on that one. Both teams really not having a good night on the ground, but yet content to keep the ball on the ground quite a bit.
Yeah, the ball carrier was Adam Lloyd that time, and he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and
about 6.
About 6, yeah.
Okay, 48-yard line for the Badgers. Tight formation. Uriah fades off to his left. He is hurried again. He goes back all the way back to the 30. Kelly blocker. Still looking. He's got some time and launches it down the sidelines. There's Josiah Peoples all alone at the 15-yard line. He gets down. He gets thrown out of bounds at the 3. Wow. I think Uriah covered 50 yards on that play, and then he finally threw the ball, and Josiah was waiting for him right there.
All I'm saying is that Uriah Tennant and Josiah Peoples can improvise pretty well.
Yes, they can. So now the Badgers again are 1st and goal at about we'll call it the 2-yard line here. I'm thinking give it to
Adam Lloyd.
Adam Lloyd again, yeah. I don't know why I want to keep calling him Brody. I guess I don't know why. Tough football name there, but Adam Lloyd will do just fine. 3 in the backfield, handoff to Lloyd up the middle, and he's into the end zone, I think. Touchdown. Was that Lloyd?
We called it.
All right. Hey, we did something right tonight. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. I'm wondering if we've got an unsportsmanlike out there again. I can't believe Lee Williams or the Badgers would be frustrated at this point.
Yeah, it's an unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Badgers.
Did they celebrate or something? I didn't
No,
did they?
I think.
Wait a minute, they did. Yes, they did. Okay.
They did.
All right. So 13-0. That's going to move the Badgers back.
So they'll get penalized, I believe, on the kickoff.
Right. So this could be a very interesting kickoff with about 4:50 remaining here in the first half. 13-0. Let's see if Mr. Automatic almost can make this one. I hate to say that, but he did miss 2 last week. And there we go, right up the middle. And now the Badgers have a 14-0 lead against Lee Williams. So we're going to take a break here on the News 1490. The Badgers 14, Lee Williams nothing. Stay with us, more to come here on Prescott's home for the Prescott Badgers right after this.
It's Gina with the City of Prescott. It's time for this year's bulk item collection event, and we'll be coming through your neighborhood to collect those items that are too big for your regular trash bins beginning August 19th through October 4th. Remember to bag, box, bundle, and tie your items. Place them neatly at the curb by 6 a.m. of your designated Monday. To find out your week for this special event, go to PrescottRecycles.com. Bulk item collection is exclusive to residential trash customers. Commercial businesses and communities on dumpsters are not eligible.
Back at Bill Shepard Field with 4:50 remaining, and now the Badgers are getting that penalty marked off for unsportsmanlike, and they're going to be kicking off from the 25. Now it's going to be interesting on the return. Let's see what the Badgers and what Lee Williams can do at this point. 14-0 in favor of the Badgers, but they've had to grind this one out. This has not been an easy game for them so far. Certainly not what we were expecting. Ball at the 25, and away we go. Long kick right down the middle. They field it at the 5. What a kick. And here we go. Here come the Badgers. Here comes Lee Williams crossing the 15 to the 20 off to the left-hand side, off to the races. And now a host of Badgers come in, and he made it back to about the 28-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Lee Williams. Good return, but with that long of a kick, he had plenty of time to set himself up.
Yeah, actually it was pretty good kick coverage by the Badgers.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
The return man for Lee Williams was again number 5, Thomas Dockstader, who's a running back, been running the ball quite a bit for the Volunteers so far tonight. 1st and 10 at the Volunteer 28.
Okay, here we go. 1st and 10 out of the gun, handoff up to the left-hand side. He's broken it. Here we go across the 50. And finally, I think Uriah brought him down and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So that was a pretty good play there. About a 30-yard gain there for Lee Williams.
You are right, and that's number 22, the ball carrier, Dylan Norbert for the Volunteers.
Uriah, a star of the secondary. He was reading that one, and he was the only Badger between Lee Williams and the end zone. So 1st and 10 in Badger territory at about the 42-yard line. 4:14 remaining here in the first half. A 14-0 lead. Screen pass, and that's going to fall to the ground there. They've been hitting those screens pretty hard. Nothing doing on that one.
Yeah, the quarterback, Morgan Quinn, led Thomas Stockstader a little bit too far out in front of him, and he couldn't make the catch. So it's going to bring up 2nd down for the Volunteers.
Okay, here we go. 2nd and about 10 there for Lee Williams at about the 43. 4:06 remaining here in the first half. Stay with us. We've got halftime shows coming up in the senior spotlight as the handoff goes up the middle. Lee Williams picked up about 4 yards on that one, so it's going to be 3rd and 6 coming up. Stay tuned. We got the senior spotlight at the beginning of halftime. Then we've got the halftime interview. John Rust got some good interviews coming up at halftime today. And we're looking forward to telling you a little bit about what's going to be happening in the Prescott area radio-wise. So when we get a little bit of time, I'll be introducing you to a new radio station that is coming. Was that a good enough lead there? That'll work, yep. Okay, here we go. 3rd and 6 for Lee Williams at the 39-yard line of the Badgers. Long, high snap. They're running after it. Lee Williams got it, but he is brought down. I think that was Quinn, and he is brought down at the 35, and that was a loss of over 20 yards. Wow. That was a 27-yard loss there.
And Adam Lloyd was the guy that made the tackle all the way back at the volunteer 35-yard line. So this is going to be 4th down and forever.
Yeah, they're going to be punting this one, of course. Uriah Tennett sitting back at the 20-yard line. He hasn't returned a punt yet. He got the kickoff, I think, and made a good run back, but hasn't fielded a punt yet, I don't believe, and I would not blame them one bit for kicking away from him. So the punter back on the 25-yard line for Lee Williams, 4th and forever. Good kick away from Uriah. Nope, he's going to go after it. He's not going to touch it, and it's going to take a great bounce for Lee Williams. They're going to down it at the 14-yard line. Another good kick has got the Badgers in a little bit of a hole in their own territory. So
yeah, the ball is being placed
about the 13-yard line.
13-yard line there.
Wow.
Badgers take over 1st and 10.
Okay, so with 2:16 to go and a 14-0 lead, are the Badgers content to just take that lead into the end zone? You know they're going to be going for it. I mean, there is that. This is Uriah Tennett here. He's not going to stop just because. Okay, 1st and 10 for the Badgers. Tight in the backfield. Uriah fades back, quick pass up the middle and dropped. Didn't see the receiver on that one. Was not Josiah, I don't think. Might have been.
I'm not sure who the receiver was.
Dropped the ball right in the middle right there, but was surrounded by Lee Williams players that would have got him pretty quick, but still 2nd and 10 with 2:11 remaining here in the first half. Badgers not in a hurry. Can't blame them. Holding a 14-0 lead, just no mistakes in the backfield back there. That's the thing. All right, here comes a penalty, and somebody moved. And what are they going to be calling? Up, illegal procedure or false start?
Yep.
So another 5 yards back, and now the Badgers are inside their own 10-yard line on 2nd and 15. 14-0 Badgers, 2:10 remaining in the half.
One of the guys that hasn't been involved in the offense tonight is Gunderman, except for his kicking.
Right. Well, they got a lot of weapons back there. They can spread it around a little bit. Okay, 2nd and 15. Uriah taking his time and under center. Fades back. He is pressured real fast up the middle, and there's the ball and a reception and caught at the 40-yard line. And Lee Williams brings him down and finally drags him out of bounds at the 35. Cooper Kassoon caught that one and fought his way down to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, and that was about a 52, 53-yard gain, I think. A little bit more than that.
Yeah, the ball's sitting at the volunteer 33.
Wow, so 59-yard gain there for Cooper Kassoon. 1st and 10, and now with 2 minutes to go and the clock ticking, here come the Badgers. Uriah pressured again in the backfield, got a few blockers, enough time to throw the ball into the end zone. Intercepted. And Lee Williams thought about bringing it out and did not. A rare interception for Uriah Tennett. 2 defenders back there and 1 Badger. Just underthrown just a little bit.
Uriah was playing the risk game there. He just threw that ball up.
Yep. Beautiful pass, but not enough juice on it to get to the Badger receiver, and we have an interception. So Lee Williams has 1:41. They're down by 14. They're on their own 20. I think they have at least 1 timeout. If not, I think they have the whole bevy of timeouts so far.
Johan Gunderman was the intended receiver over there in the end zone.
So 14-0 with 1:41 here in the first half remaining. And now the officials call a timeout for the Badgers. I think this is their first one. So now we're going to be talking. Strategy here. If you're Lee Williams, you got to go for it.
You know, we were talking earlier about kids' mindsets going into games, and the Badgers have played 4 tough football games before tonight.
True.
And sometimes 16, 17, and 18-year-olds get the impression that all they have to do is put the uniform on and they're going to go out and win.
I certainly hope not, but I tell you, sometimes that does happen to the best of them.
Because those players knew as well as we did what Lee Williams' record is going into tonight.
Absolutely.
And so the Badgers, I think, are playing a little lethargic tonight.
Just a little bit. Well, hopefully that's not going to continue. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, we're looking forward to the halftime interview and the senior spotlight tonight, so be sure to tune in for that. That'll be coming up fairly shortly here. Okay, 1st and 10 for Lee Williams on their own 20-yard line, 1:41 to go. Let's see if they're going to be able to do anything here. Broken play, Quinn off to the left. He gets caught in the backfield. He's going to lose about 3 on that one.
And the guy that was in on that was number 53 for the Badgers, Frankie Jami, I think is how you pronounce his last name. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Good penetration by the front line of the Badger defense that play. Going to bring up, I'm going to say 2nd and 13.
Out of the gun here, 2nd and 13. Clock ticking, 55 seconds left. Handoff up the middle, breaks it through and gets some positive yardage, and it's going to be about 3rd and 5 at about the 25-yard line, 3rd and 6.
Brought down by number 32 for the Badgers, Brody Hanna.
All right, so it looks like Lee Williams is not in a hurry to give this a try. 3rd and 6, the clock is ticking, 30 seconds to go here in the half. I think they're going to be content to go into the locker room unless they manage to spring a play or the Badgers get a turnover. Again, Quinn is hurried, almost sacked, gets out, and I think they're going to call him down at the 28 but didn't get out of bounds. That is probably it for the half. So, halftime finally for Prescott and Lee Williams, 14-0 as we head into the locker room for halftime. Stay with us. Senior spotlight and halftime interview coming up, and then the scintillating conversation about the second half coming up with Kelly Cordes and myself. You're not going to want to miss it. You're listening to Prescott Badger Football here on the News 1490 and 103.5 FM KYCA Prescott, K278CN Prescott. It is 8 o'clock on a gorgeous night. And again, halftime, 14-0 with a Badger lead over Lee Williams to open the conference season. We'll be back with the senior spotlight and halftime interview after these messages.
Hello friends, this is Travis Stead. When it comes to protecting your gutters from those pesky pine needles that never seem to land anywhere but inside your gutters, making a mess, make the wise choice, Arizona Seamless Gutters. We have the fix that will last a lifetime. Needle Guard. Never let a loved one get on a ladder and clean your gutters again. Let our family take care of that. Arizona Seamless Gutters. Locally owned and operated since 1981. Call us today, 928-778-1818 for a free estimate. Arizona Seamless Gutters. When it pours, we rain.
Another edition of Senior Spotlight. I'm John Rust, and joining me tonight is defensive lineman Amir Singh. Amir, how you doing?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for having me.
You got it. And well, Amir, going back to last week, another great Badger victory, especially on homecoming night. Just your thoughts on that win you got over Combs.
You know, I thought we played very well. At the end, kind of kind of drove down, but we picked it back up and came back and won that game. So I thought it was very good.
And tonight, well, third home game in a row, and this time you kick off Grand Canyon Region play. You got Lee Williams. So what can you tell us about Lee Williams? What's it going to take to beat the Volunteers?
We just got to play our hardest, stick to a team. We got to keep each other's heads up, and that's about it.
Okay, well, let's get to know you a little bit better here, Amir. First off, what got you interested in playing football?
My dad, actually. He got me into flag football. I was like 6, and then ever since I just started playing it. So that's about it.
What was the best game you ever had?
I'd say against Coconino, just trying to snap the ball last year, too, in the cold weather. It was very hard, so I'd say that.
Where was the worst place you ever played?
Probably Flagstaff again. Cold weather just really messes up your game, too. So probably Flagstaff.
Yes, because everyone hates playing at Coconino. That's like the theme this year for whatever reason on the Spotlight. What other sports do you play besides football?
I don't play other sports, just football.
Who is your favorite professional sports team?
I'll go with the Steelers. I like them so far. New QB and everything.
What's your favorite subject in school?
I like math. Math's pretty good for me.
Good for you, not for me, man. What's your favorite thing about going to Prescott High School?
Probably the dynamic of the school. Just everybody around. Just can always be close with people.
Who's your favorite musician or band?
Oh, I'll go with the Beatles. I grew up with them.
Oh. Well, there's a pleasantly surprising answer. What's your favorite movie?
I'll go with Spider-Man.
Okay, now which Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, or Tom Holland?
I'll put me on the spotlight. I'll go with Andrew.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
I'll go some wings. Some hot wings.
What do you like to do when you're not playing football?
Either work or just drive around, find some stuff.
And finally, what are your plans for after graduation?
Hopefully just get my life together, figure out stuff I want to do.
Okay, well, Amir, I want to thank you very much for your time here on Senior Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
Tishka with Olson's for Healthy Animals. Trust is a word that is rarely applied to certain areas of our society, nationally and locally. I'm sure you know what I mean. However, trust is what people do have when they vote a business the best of. Olson's has been voted the best of by the readers of not one, but 2 trusted media sources, the Daily Courier and Prescott Living in 2024. Both were for the best pet supply. There's a reason why our motto is good enough just isn't. We don't take you for granted. We're proud to constantly earn your business.
Our halftime interview where we feature one of the many other sports teams at Prescott High School, and tonight we are featuring the Prescott boys and girls swim team, and representing the boys swim team I have Evan Marlatt. And Evan, if you can just give all the folks at home your thoughts on how you feel the Prescott swim team is doing, as I believe you guys are about halfway through your regular season now.
I think we're doing pretty good so far. We have a lot of state qualifiers, I think more than last year, and we have a few meets left this season, so we got few more chances to bring it home.
And just talk about the progress you feel the boys have made from your first meet of the season back in August to where we're at now.
Yeah, we've had some drops for sure. Well, been waiting for some people to break a minute, which they finally did this weekend. And some of them who have recently joined the team, they've gotten a lot better. They look like they've been on the team for a while now.
And I know you guys were at the Craig Cummins Invitational the other week, and it seemed like everyone just did fantastic there. So what were your thoughts on Prescott's performance after that invitational?
Pretty good.
What were some of the things that really impressed you about the team at Craig Cummins?
Most of our boys finally were able to break a minute on the 100 freestyle, and we've been waiting for that for like the whole season now. And many drops, a lot of 24s for the 50 frees, so we're doing really good.
And what events do you swim?
200 IM and 100 free.
Okay. And just talk about how you feel you've been doing this year.
I think I'm doing pretty good. I managed to drop a lot of time compared to last year and improve a lot of my strokes.
Okay. And so, again, another month or so, and it's going to be the state meet. And how many swimmers do you think Prescott could have at the state meet this year?
In total, maybe like 10 at least.
Okay. All right. Well, Evan, thank you for talking to us about the boys' side. And now representing the girls' side, we have Onwin Smith. And Onwin, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, and of course, you've been doing really good this whole season. I mean, it seems like every time Coach Revere sends me updates on the team. It's like you just break one record after another. So what has been the secret to your very successful senior season here?
I don't know. I mean, whenever we're at practice, I put in the best effort that I can all the time. And, yeah, I just keep working to try and get all my times to be better. So, yeah.
Did you ever expect to have a season like this where it just seems like week after week you're setting some kind of new record at the school?
Not really, no. I'm both last year and this year I'm kind of surprised with the fact that that's happened. I never really saw myself being able to do that, but I'm happy with it, so.
And what events do you swim for Prescott?
It varies a lot. I do the 100 free, the 200 free, the 100 fly. Last Invitational I did the 100 back. I also do the 50 free and the 500. A lot of different events.
And of course, well, like I was saying with Evan, last week you were at the Craig Cummins Invitational, and along with being a successful meet for yourself, it seemed like a successful meet for a lot of the Badgers. So just your thoughts on the team's performance there.
Oh, everyone did amazing. A lot of people dropped time. We had a couple more state qualifying times, like Evan mentioned, and people who had already qualified for state, a lot of them dropped their seed time as well, so that was really good.
And given how you're performing this year, any thoughts about perhaps swimming at college or what?
I'm going to try to definitely swim in college. It's a little bit of an interesting process so far, kind of intimidating, but if I can, I'm going to definitely try to do that.
And, well, again, in probably another month or so, we're going to have the state meet. So how many girls do you envision Prescott having at that event?
In individuals, at least probably 5 or 6, and then we've got the relays as well. So I think we'll have a solid, like 6 or 7 girls in total there.
All right, well, Onwin, Evan, I want to thank both of you for joining us here on the Halftime Show, and best luck to you and the rest of the swim team this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Savings are in full view with great discounts on our American-made blinds and shutters here at Blind Brothers Arizona. Hi, this is Jeremy, and if your window treatments are in need of an upgrade, then now is the time to shop with us during our 45th anniversary sale. Save on Hunter Douglas and Lafayette product lines with a variety of blinds, shutters, and custom fabrics. Whether you've been with us since the beginning or just moved to town, we invite you to celebrate this milestone with us. Book a free consultation today and visit blindbrothersaz.com.
Back at Bill Shepherd Field for halftime as the Badgers open the conference season with a 14-0 lead in the first half of their final game of a 3-game homestand, and then comes fall break. So, Kelly, we're looking at the schedule ahead of time. We see this 3-game stand and probably one of the most advantageous schedules for the Badgers, but it seems like it could come back to bite them too, just a bit.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, that obviously the Badgers knew Lee Williams' record coming into tonight's play. And, when you have a couple big games and you win, then there's a little bit of an emotional letdown.
A little bit.
Especially if you're looking at a team that you think, all we're going to have to do is show up and we're going to beat them.
Right.
But I always used to remind the team, I said, now, you guys, I want to make sure that you understand this concept. This is a real complicated concept. The game is tied 0-0 at the beginning of the game.
That's good. That's a good one. Well, I'll tell you, the Badgers have they've done a good job. I mean, let's face it, they have a 14-0 lead against Lee Williams. They've played, as you said, some really tough opponents coming in. And there is no high school team that is really a bad team out there. Yeah. Anybody's competitive.
Yep.
And so tonight, I think that's what we're facing. We are seeing the competitive side of Lee Williams. They just can't get the ball going when they get the opportunity, but they've held the Badgers to 14 points.
My concern, if I was the Badger coaches, and I'm sure they realize this, is tonight against a team like Lee Williams, having to rely too much on the pass.
Yes.
Not being able to consistently run the ball. I mean, the Badgers had 6 possessions in the first half, scored on 2 of them, punted on 2 of them, and then we had 2 turnovers.
Yep.
We had a fumble and we had an interception.
Not normal.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how the Badgers look coming out at the half. By the way, the Badgers will be kicking off to the Volunteers to start the second half.
And that's probably one reason why they were just not in a hurry to get down the field, try and cover 80 yards in a minute and a half.
Right.
They could take that 14-0 to the locker room and have another good shot at the Badgers with plenty of time to open the third quarter. So
yeah, you just have to, any time you go into a game, you've got to respect your opponent. And, hopefully the Badgers can have a lot better second half as they've had the first half, even though we're up 14-0.
Yeah, at 14-0, but it feels a whole lot closer than that,
yeah.
I can tell you. A lot of schools in action tonight. Really no scores to report that much. Coconino is over at Bradshaw. No score on that game right now. The other game, of course, means that we've got Flagstaff taking on Mingus tonight in their conference opener. So now we really get to see who's going to mix it up in the Grand Canyon Conference. And you've got to think that Prescott is the leading team right now.
You would think so. I think it's a toss-up, that game out at Bradshaw tonight between Bradshaw and Coconino. I fully expect Flagstaff to defeat Mingus.
Right. And so that's going to pick up, that's going to make an interesting game coming up. So because the Badgers, let me pull up the standings here real fast for Flagstaff. Flagstaff going into tonight is 4-1 overall. And they opened up, they're 3-1 in the conference, 4-1 overall. Their only losses to Greenway. They beat Winslow, they beat Desert Sunrise, they beat Copper Canyon last week 45-28, and they opened the season against Gila Ridge, beating them 27-21. Going to Winslow, that is, and they played them at NAU. That's a 3A team, but they do like to get some of the reservation teams over there.
The only team in the Grand Canyon region that has played a comparable schedule to the Badgers are the Bears in Bradshaw. They opened up with two really tough teams.
They had to go all the way to Snowflake.
Yeah.
And darn it, it was September.
Right.
Yeah. And not November.
Ever since I can remember, Snowflake's always been decent in football.
Yes.
They've always had a good football team over there.
Now the Badger cheerleaders are out on the field, so if you're watching, you'll be able to see this. Now Bradshaw opened with 2 losses, but then they rattled off 3 wins: Moon Valley, St. Mary's, and Apache Junction. St. Mary's is never a bad team, and Apache Junction's pretty good too, and they managed to get them.
I can remember when Bob Young was coaching at Mingus 15 years ago. He'd start off 0-3, 0-4, and then make the playoffs.
Exactly.
Because I'm not sure in my lifetime that I've witnessed a better high school football coach than Bob Young. I'm a Bob Young fan. Can you tell?
No, not at all. Well, we're going to be facing him in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Next week is an off week. Then 2 weeks from yesterday, we're going to be at the Dome up in Flagstaff to take on the Flagstaff Eagles. And then we're over at Bradshaw for the big game. Hopefully we're going to be 5-1 going into that one.
You never know what's going to happen in rivalry games.
That's true.
Never know.
Now, I always love to watch this. I got to take a minute here. The student section, which there's a lot of pink in the student section tonight. I love the roller coaster ride. It's always fun. So anyway, we're just getting close to the end of halftime. They've got 15 minutes on the clock. We're going to see how this goes, but it's going to be a long halftime for some reason tonight. I think they're going to fix the clock here pretty soon. They were giving some extra time for the kids to come out.
And then, once the teams get out on the field, when there's another 3-minute time period.
Right. So here we go, and a lot of the kids are wearing pink tonight. The Badgers are tough enough to wear pink usually one game out of the season. Not tonight, but it looks like the student body is well decked out in pink, and here in October. I believe it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, this month. So
that's right, it is. Yep.
So fantastic to see that. And we'll see the Badgers putting on their pink later in the month, I'm sure. Okay, here we go, the roller coaster. I tell you, it's always a fun time. You know what? I have not seen many student sections as good as Prescott. And so what they do is they get up and always fun. You know, I've never seen too many student sections have as much fun as the Badgers do. And I can remember mixing it up down there in high school myself, down in 87 and 88.
I could talk about this for the next 15 minutes.
Okay.
There is an advantage to having a one high school town.
Yep, that's for sure.
The last, couple of weeks ago, we had our 50 and over alumni luncheon up at the resort. That subject came up there.
Okay.
I mean, how many high schools have a 50 and over luncheon that's been done on an annual basis since 1978?
That's a good point.
And the two guys that started that were a guy by the name of Jack Orr Sr., who graduated from Prescott High School in 1928, and Taylor Hicks Sr., who graduated from Prescott High School in 1927. Those are the guys that started that tradition in 1978.
I had Mr. Orr Jr., I believe.
Yes.
For algebra.
Yes.
He was a kick. What's the last thing Jack Orr taught me when I left high school? He gave me a golf lesson, of course.
By the way, I was in their house this last week.
How they doing?
Because I got appointed to be the treasurer of this year's PHS 50 and over alumni luncheon.
Oh, lucky you. All
and
right.
then they picked some guy to be the master of ceremonies, me.
Oh, goodness. I'll bet it was a fun time, though.
It was a great time. Great time. 429 people attended that.
My gosh. What a luncheon.
It gets back to having this great tradition of, once a Badger, always a Badger.
That's right.
Just a great tradition. And every time we get together, classmates of mine and people that are just a year or two younger or older, we talk about how fortunate we were to grow up in Prescott, Arizona. That subject always comes up.
I have to agree. I got here, let's see, what day is this? Today is October the 4th. We got here in October of 1986. So it has now been 38 years for me. And it feels like yesterday.
You're practically a native.
I don't claim it. I don't claim it. I just can't do it. Now, my wife, the lovely and gracious Suzanne, she is an Arizona native who always wanted to live in Prescott. That's why she married me. I mean, that's the only reason. She's sitting here in the booth ready to hit me with the frying pan, so it's okay, folks. But, there is something about Prescott. There were so many kids that graduated. My graduating class had 410. And so many of them are still here, whether they're teaching or they're coaching or they're just part of the community. And it amazes me.
And it's probably still true. But the overall staff of the Prescott Unified School District, there's anywhere from 20 to 30% of that staff that are Prescott High grads.
And that says something.
I mean, look at the superintendent and the principal of Prescott High School.
I know.
They're Badgers.
Clark, if you're listening, yes, you're being picked on. So, all right, we are about ready to get underway. Yes, Kelly, I could talk Badgers all day long, too.
Yeah.
What a great place to go to high school, I tell you. It was only a year and a half for me, but I loved it. All right, folks, here we go. Badgers are getting ready to kick off here in the second half, a 14-0 lead on a gorgeous night for football. Man, oh, man, this is why we are here. Okay. Let's see what the Badgers can do now, but Lee Williams is going to take the ball. High kick back to about the 10, and here we go. Lee Williams bringing the ball up the middle and finally brought down, managed to pick up another few yards and finally got it up to about the 23-yard line. Not a bad return on their part.
And again, that's that number 5, who we've called out his name quite a bit, Thomas Dockstader, who returned that kickoff. And it looks like the ball is going to be placed on the volunteer 23-yard line.
So here's what they've got to do. They get into a hole real quick at 21-0 at this point. They just can't do that. Otherwise, that's it.
Well, yeah, I think you're saying they pretty much have to score on this possession.
Well, at least keep the ball out of Uriah Tannet's hands as long as possible. 1st and 10. Quinn in the gun. 2 wide right. And a quick handoff up the middle, nothing doing there, and they're going to lose some yardage on that one. And they bring him down. They're going to call it down at about the 20. So 2nd and 13.
Do you have number 79's name? I don't have him on the Prescott roster.
Blake McGlory. Blake McGlory, a sophomore, 6'5".
He's the one that
big kid
stormed past his offensive lineman and grabbed the quarterback.
Yep. That was a little scary. I looked out there. Quinn is being enveloped here, you know. Okay, 2nd and about 13 here on their own 20. 3 wide right. Quinn in the gun. Snap fades back under pressure, and he's going to take it himself up past the line of scrimmage and finally brought down at about the 27-yard line. So 3rd and 7 coming up for Lee Williams.
And the guy that met him first for the Badgers was Adam Lloyd.
A lot of these Badgers so good on both sides of the line. Gunderman coming into the game on the defense as well.
Ball is sitting on the Volunteer 27, and it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Long 5, so don't forget to tune in tomorrow night here on KYCA ASU football as they come off their bye week. The live coverage, kickoff at 5, pregame at 4. Quinn fades back, moves to the right, quick pass, almost intercepted and batted down by Gunderman. Beautiful play on his part.
Going to bring up 4th down. Got to be a punting situation. And here the punting unit comes on the field for the Volunteers.
I usually say that there's some teams not afraid to go for it on 4th. They're not afraid to punt it. Some teams are afraid to punt it, but they've got a good punter on their team.
This will be their 6th punt so far in the game.
And I don't think Uriah's got his hands on a punt yet.
No, he hasn't.
He's standing back at about the 40-yard line, 42-yard line of the Badgers. They've been kicking away from him pretty effectively.
It seems like he's up about 5 or 10 yards from where he is normally. Let's see if he's able to field it.
Right at him this time, and he takes it at the 38, and off to the races we go. Past midfield, past the 40, and he's got daylight. He might go all the way, and he is. Uriah Tennette into the end zone. Touchdown, Prescott Badgers, and it's 20-0.
About a 60-yard return.
Wow. Flag back on the 40-yard line of Lee Williams, and you've got to think, is that a clip? This ball may be coming back.
It is coming back.
Haven't seen an indication. The referee has the ball right now. He's tossed it off, and let's see what happens here. And they're bringing it back into Badger territory. There must have been a personal foul in there somewhere. No indication yet.
I'm gonna assume it was a block in the back, a clipping penalty.
Yeah, and that's a 15-yarder, and that puts the Badgers back in their own territory, and that nullifies a beautiful run for Uriah Tennette. 1st and 10 now on their own 47-yard line, 9:56 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Badgers up 14-0. Uriah, I think, wants that touchdown back. He fades back under pressure again. This time, don't know if he's going to make it. A quick pass down the left sideline and incomplete, in and out of the hands of Cooper Kassoon, I believe.
Cooper Kassoon's dad played baseball for me in the 90s.
You know we're dating ourselves here.
Yeah.
Ought not do that maybe to everybody. All right, folks. 2nd and 10 for the Badgers. Uriah really wants that back, I'm sure. I think that's the 2nd touchdown he's had nullified this year. Gunderman coming off of the field now. Uriah in the gun with one in the backfield. And here we go. Up the middle is the call. Flag on the play again. And so the Badgers pick up about 3, but there is a flag. And not sure where that's going to go. I think that's going to be on the Badgers again.
That's an illegal shift.
Oops. That was a pretty late flag for that. But that means the Badgers are coming back and then some.
It's a motion penalty.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Well, folks, tonight's game is brought to you in part by Prescott True Value, locally owned and operated since 1982. They are so much more than a hardware store. Go in on Miller Valley Road and check it out for yourself. Prescott True Value, another fine Badger sponsor. So that comes back second down and about 16 for the Badgers. Uriah tosses it off to the right. Nothing doing there. Back to the line of scrimmage for the Badgers. Third and long on this one.
Again, that was Adam Lloyd that he pitched the ball to. There just was not any room on the right side to turn the corner.
So 14-0. They've got the ball on their own 42-yard line. Clock is ticking down. Looks like about 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Plenty of time. 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Plenty of time for both teams. Uriah's got 3 men wide left. He goes in that direction. He's directing traffic. A throw down the middle, caught at the 45. Looks like he's going to make it down to the first. That's a first down. Just enough. Good enough for the Badgers. Good enough for a first down, and that was
number 84. Did he have another 84 on the roster?
Eli Allen, sophomore. Just exactly what they needed. A 17-yard gain on a 3rd and 16. We'll take that all day long. And the Badgers have a first down on the Lee Williams 42-yard line with 8.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Uriah takes the ball hand up the middle, and this time breaks for a couple yards. I think that's
Isaac Brazino.
Yeah, Brazino, you're right. Couple of yards there. Down to the 39-yard line, so we've got second and about 7 for Prescott. They're not in a hurry. Good to have a 14-0 lead, of course. Would like to have had it a little bit more. And Uriah takes it out of the gun, handoff up the middle again, and this time there's plenty of yardage and daylight, and I think that's going to be enough for a first down to the 31-yard line.
That was Isaac Brazino. I used to live in his neighborhood, and he and his brother and I would shoot baskets in their backyard.
Is there anybody you don't know on this team? Man. I can barely call names. You're giving me whole histories here. All right. 1st and 10 for the Badgers on the 31-yard line. And the Badgers are rolling ever so slowly. Handoff up the middle once again, and this time a little bit more yardage. Another 5 yards for the Badgers.
Ball carrier was, who was that? Number 10.
Jacob Chamberlain.
Jacob Chamberlain. Pickup of about 5, second down and 5. Ball sitting on the Volunteer 25.
So many weapons for the Badgers, and right now Lee Williams wants to talk this over, and they called a timeout. 6:47 remaining here in the third quarter. Badgers up 14-0. Okay, I teased it before. I'm going to say it now. We're starting a brand new radio station here in Prescott, Arizona, and I'm proud to bring the news to you. Noon on Monday, you're going to want to tune in to 93.5 FM, Prescott's Classic Rock. We're got a great mix of the 70s and 80s, and it's all rock. So be sure to tune in at noon on Monday. If you tune in early, you're going to hear calm radio. It's not going to be calm for long.
Hey, that rhymes.
I know. Isn't that something? I'm on top of things tonight. Man. So anyway, folks, 93.5 FM in the Prescott and Prescott Valley area. Be sure to tune in to Prescott's Classic Rock. You're going to love it. If you're our age, you're going to love it even more. So 93.5 FM, Prescott's Classic Rock. We go on the air Monday. We're looking forward to it, folks, and be sure to listen in. Here we go, out of the gun, 2nd and 5. Uriah, he is under pressure once again. Back to the 40, 45, flings it downfield, and it's going to fall incomplete. Just a yard past the line of scrimmage, but that's good enough.
That falls incomplete.
Yeah, you always worry about intentional grounding. I mean, he was retreating 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
He was in his own territory.
Yeah.
Uriah is not afraid to do that, and usually he can make something of it, but not that time. So, all right, 3rd and 5 on the Lee Williams 26. Plenty of time. 3 receivers, now 4 wide right, 3 wide right, 1 wide left, 1 man in the backfield. Uriah fades, looks right, taking his time. Now he's hurried past the line of scrimmage. First down for Uriah. Takes it himself down the sideline and finally out of bounds at about the 17. Good enough for a first down.
They're going to mark it at the 18 where it'll be a 1st and 10 there.
And the Badgers grinding this out after having a punt return for a touchdown brought back. If you keep your head about you while everyone else loses theirs, you usually get rewarded.
Uriah's getting the play from his dad.
I love seeing Coach Tannett down there, but I know he's probably thinking the same thing Travis Stedman is too.
Yeah.
All right, 1st and 10 under center. Uriah fades back, fakes the handoff, and he's going to take it again. This time moving left past the 25 into the 20 and out of bounds at about the 9-yard line. 1st and goal. I'm not going to say that was a broken play. I think he was looking for a run on that one.
I think he was too. I think on that play he has an option. As he's rolling out to his left, he's looking downfield, and then, of course, he has the option to run.
Well, he can place it in the end zone from just about anywhere on his side of the field there. So, okay, 1st and goal for the Badgers at the 9-yard line, and we've got a timeout. Can't see that.
They're calling a false start.
False start on the Badgers, so 5 yards back, and 1st and goal now on the 14-yard line. No, they're calling it 2nd and 5. They said he didn't make it to the first down on that last play.
Oh, okay.
So 2nd and 5 now for the Badgers. 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter and a 14-0 lead, and they are threatening. There's the handoff up the middle and up about 3 or 4 yards there. Cooper Kassoon with that one. Smashing his way through the line. So now 3rd and about 2. 3rd and 4, excuse me, at about the 13-yard line. Mr. Announcer, thank you for that one. Well, now as the Badgers, you're going to do anything. Lee Williams has got to be wondering where this is going to be going.
This is 4-down territory, I think.
Yeah, with a 14-0 lead. Okay, so a quick pass over to the right, first down and then some, and touchdown. They're going to call it a touchdown. He got into the corner of the end zone. And finally, the Badgers have that 20 back.
And the reception was by number 49, Cooper Kassoon.
A lot of Badgers getting the ball tonight, and that is giving them a 20-0 lead now over Lee Williams. Lee Williams is not out of this game. This is not a blowout at this point. The Badgers are just being too tough, but both teams willing to grind it out.
What was that coach's name down at Alabama that was down there so long?
Oh, gosh, the Bear?
No.
No, okay, and there goes the extra
guy
point.
that retired last year.
Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about. We all do. Yeah.
He said at the Georgia-Alabama game at halftime, this game's not over. And he was right.
Okay.
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, thank you for that. We're thinking high school, folks. But anyway, 21-0 Badgers lead. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, and we will be back right after this.
You're really
Back here at Bill Shepard Field, 21-0. Prescott Badgers on top of Lee Williams. And here comes the kickoff. Long driving kick. And they're going to bring it out at the goal line, and here we go. Lee Williams off to the left-hand side to the sideline, and probably should have let it bounce because he got up to about the 13, and that was it.
Great kickoff coverage by the Badgers. Boy, that almost went in the end zone. I mean, the volunteer, again, number 5, Thomas Dockstader, he was at the half-yard line when he caught that kickoff.
I would have almost let it go, but he gave it a try.
He gave it a try, yeah.
So now the Lee Williams Volunteers have it. They're going to call it about the 14, 1st and 10, 13-yard line right there.
Yep.
1st and 10. Gorgeous night for football. We're down to about the 70s right now. It's beautiful outside. Man, oh man. Going to be a great weekend. We've got ASU football for you on KYCA tomorrow evening. Pregame at 4, kickoff at 5. And then the ASU Sun Devils are in action next Friday. We'll have live coverage of that because the Badgers will have a bye week. Quick screen pass off to the left. He's going to get some yardage and probably a first down right there. Got all the way up to about the 28, more than enough.
He was able to get on the outside of the Badger defensive pursuit.
With 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, I know you go with what works, but and they're moving the ball, but I think the screen passes have to give way to something longer if they're going to have a shot at this. I'm not saying they're going to, but I mean, 21-0 right now.
So you're saying that maybe there are some blitzes in order for the Badgers?
I would hope so. They certainly have been not afraid to hurry Uriah to net tonight. Handoff up the middle, nothing doing there, and that's going to be a loss of about 3 for Lee Williams. Good play on that one, and that keeps the clock rolling midway through the third quarter, 21-0 Badgers.
Number 32, Brody Hanna, is the one that
yet again
tackled the running back for a loss.
Those Hannas, they are tough. All right, second down and about 13 yards. Ball on the 23-yard line for Lee Williams. Quinn back in the gun. Receivers are spread out on this one. 4:22 remaining here in the third quarter. Handoff once again up the middle, and this time he faked it, kept it himself, and the Badgers saw right through it. Quinn tried to turn the corner on the left-hand side, got nothing.
And I'm trying to find out who made the initial hit on that. That was Brody Hanna again.
Yeah, but he looked up, turned the corner, and there's a wall of blue. Hello,
yeah,
boys.
Exactly. You're saying Brody had some help, which he did.
Oh, my, that was a good one. So nevertheless, 3rd and 13 to go, and now you've got to think blitz and air it out. That's my thought. But I have been wrong occasionally. I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. How about that? Okay, 3 receivers wide right. 1 man in the backfield with Quinn. 3rd and 13. Clock ticking down, 3:20 remaining in the third quarter. Quick screen pass up the middle. The Badgers have him surrounded. He's got some daylight, but only gets up to about the 31-yard line. Not enough. About a 7-yard gain, an 8-yard gain on that one. So now 4th and 5 on your own about your own 31. You got to go, I think.
They called a screen pass from the quarterback Morgan Quinn, and the guy that received that was Cooper Cronk. I think they're going to go for it.
I think you've got to at this point. 21-0 down, clock ticking down in the third quarter. If you're going to do anything, it's got to be now. So here we go.
4th and 4.
4th and 4 at the 32-yard line. Receivers on both sides. Quinn all alone in the back. No, he's got one in the backfield with him. I think they're trying to draw the Badgers off sides. Didn't work. Timeout, Lee Williams. 21-0. Big, important third down. So, folks, do you know tonight's game is sponsored by a Badger alumnus? That's right, Steve Blair owner of Blind Brothers Arizona, offering premier window treatments in northern Arizona since 1979. Be sure to call our fellow Badger, Steve Blair, for your window treatments. Another fine Badger sponsor here on KYCA.
My former junior bowling partner when we were 11 and 12 years old.
Who don't you know here? I mean, seriously.
And Steve and I played Little League on the same team for four.
Do you and I and Cal go downtown and you people just start pointing people out? Yeah, I know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know them. It still is a small enough town.
Known the Blairs a long time.
Oh, my goodness.
His mom, Faith, was our scorekeeper at the bowling alley.
All right, 4th and 4. Here we go. Out of the gun, fades back. Lee Williams, he's going to get hurried. A quick toss up the middle. Intercepted, almost intercepted by Uriah Tennett. He dropped it, but that's okay because the Badgers have the ball back at the 33-yard line. Uriah was in Badger territory about the 45. I wonder if he just didn't drop it.
Yeah, I think he was better off. Not the fact that it was 4th down. The Badgers are probably better off that he didn't intercept that pass.
That's right. He's all right. You're still down on yourself a little bit, but that was a smart play for Uriah Tennett there. 1st and 10 now for the Badgers on the Lee Williams 32-yard line with 2:17 remaining here in the third quarter and a 21-0 lead for the Prescott Badgers. Nice night to start the conference season, and now we've got a timeout called by Lee Williams. That's their second one. So 2:17 remaining, and if you're Lee Williams, I hate to say this, but I think you count yourself fortunate that it's only 21-0 based on what they've done this season so far.
You're right.
You gotta be thinking that. So let's see if we can get a score here tonight. Trying to see if the scoreboard is up and running for Arizona high school football. Not many scores to report, although we've got a full slate of games across the valley and across the state. Bourgade Catholic lost to Florence on a forfeit. Chinle is ahead of Monument Valley 33-0 as they start their conference season. No score yet from any of the 4A schools, so we'll be hearing what everybody's doing hopefully tomorrow morning.
Badgers have it 1st and 10 at the Volunteer 32.
So let's see what they can do maybe to put this game away once and for all here late in the third quarter. Uriah fades back after a fake handoff down the middle into the end zone, and it is bobbled, and are they saying it's intercepted? No, incomplete pass. And it looks like we've got an injured Badger back there. The Lee Williams players were waving to the Badger sideline.
I'm trying to pick. That's Josiah Peoples that's down on the ground.
He tried to pick himself up just a little bit, and here comes the training squad real quick. He's up. Okay, he is up. He just got shaken up a little bit. And he's walking off the field by himself. No problems. Okay. Just probably got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. So Josiah's going to have to come out for one play.
He's a gamer. He'll be back.
We saw him down at Northwest Christian, I believe.
Yes.
Got his hand hurt.
Yeah.
Went over to the training table, got taped up, and was right back out
right
there.
Back in. Yep. So 2nd and 10 for the Badgers at the Volunteer 32.
Good throw in, but Josiah was surrounded by 2-3 players right then. Okay, Uriah in the gun, one man in the backfield. Spread offense here for the Badgers. Takes the handoff up the middle, and this time some daylight. And I believe that might have been Brazino again. And about 6 yards on that one. So 3rd and 4 coming up for the Badgers again. And again, 21-0 lead. You go for it if it comes down to a 4th down.
Exactly. It's 4-down territory.
So 1:45 remaining here in the third quarter. A 21-0 lead. Clock is ticking. Let's see what the Badgers can do on a spread offense. Here we go. Handoff up the middle. surprised Lee Williams a little bit, and that is Brazino again. Don't think he got the first down, but he's close.
He's very close.
Depends on the spot. They're going to move the chains.
Yeah, he picked up 5 yards.
Just enough again. And the Badgers have a new set of downs with a minute to go here in the third quarter and a 21-0 lead for the Badgers.
Ball sitting at the Volunteer 22.
This time they're going to bunch it up a little bit. We'll see what happens. Uriah in the gun. Whole handoff up the middle once again. Wow, a bevy of Badgers and Volunteers all together, and about a 5-yard gain there.
I think that was Adam Lloyd again. No, that was number 10, Jacob Chamberlain, the ball carrier that time. He picked up about 4 yards. It's going to be second down and 6.
We've called his number a few times this season. He's had a good season so far. Chamberlain, the junior, we're going to see him again next year. A handoff once again. This time Uriah fakes it, and he takes off around the right-hand side. He's looking for the end zone. Smashes into a Volunteer near the goal line. And I think that was enough to get him out of bounds at about the 1.
You're right. Going to be first and goal at the 1.
Good fake handoff. I think he got everybody on that one.
21-yard gain.
So first and goal for the Badgers. He made it out of bounds, so this might be the last play of the third quarter. 21-0, trying to punch it in. Who gets the call this time? That looked touchdown for the Badgers. I think they got it in. And now 27-0. Didn't see a number on that.
I think that was Chamberlain.
Well, good for him if so.
Yeah, Chamberlain, the ball carrier.
I think that might have been his first score of the season.
I think you're right.
Well, good for him. So 27-0 Badgers. Here comes the extra point. With 13 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, we're going to keep it here until the end of the third. There goes the kick and the score, and it is 28-0 in favor of the Badgers, as they have put 2 scores on the board here in the third quarter and had one called back. So the Badgers have been pulling away steadily from Lee Williams, and a 28-0 lead is the result. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's been a good game, and I get the feeling that it is time to get this season kick-started again. It's time to take a rest and have a new frame of mind coming in 2 weeks as they go up to NAU and play in the Sky Dome.
Yeah, we know Flagstaff's better than they were a year ago.
Yeah.
And then I think 2 real important games. You know, it's been since 2012 since the Badgers have won a region football title. And I think those games against Coconino and Bradshaw are big.
Yeah, it could be that the Coconino game could be everything for the conference. So here we go. Here comes the kickoff down the middle and booted out of the end zone and into the end zone. No question there. And with 13 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Lee Williams has a 28-0 deficit to fight up against. And the way they've been moving, the way the Badgers are starting to stiffen here in the third quarter, Lee Williams is going to have a big mountain to climb if they're going to have a chance at this.
Well, you know, one of the things that as you look at the balance between passing and rushing for the Volunteers, I mean, they've rushed for over. I mean, they've passed for over 3 times more than they've rushed.
Right.
During the year, and
yet they've been content to keep it on the ground.
On the ground here,
and in key situations as well.
Yeah.
So here we go, 1st and 10 for the Volunteers at their own 20-yard line. 13 seconds, probably the last play of the quarter here. I've said that a few times, but I might mean it this time. All right, so Quinn fades back, looks left, finally caught, and it looks like a first down and then some, up to about the 40. But, yeah, they're saying he stepped out of bounds at the 44-yard line. That could well be one of the longest gains of the game so far for Lee Williams.
Kind of a screen pass, left on the left side. And the Badgers just did not pursue that pass play well enough.
Well, you go with your strengths here. And they've been good on the screen tonight. So 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. 4 seconds left here in the third quarter. And this has been a game that this is a long game, folks. This has been a long one tonight. So here we go. 1st and 10. Quinn in the gun. Hands off up the middle quickly. The Badgers manage to, and he bounces free. He's past the first down and then some. And the Badgers finally bring him down at the 40-yard line, and that is going to do it for the third quarter. Lee Williams is on the move, but the Badgers have the lead. And as we go into the fourth quarter, the Badgers lead 28-0. Let's pause for 30 seconds here on KYCA and be back with the fourth quarter after this. All right. Well, we're rolling. And we're back with the fourth quarter here on the News 1490, KYCA.info, and our Facebook page. Thank you for joining us tonight. The Badgers with a 28-0 lead. Jason Zenzaletta, Kelly Cordes here at Bill Shepherd Field, the friendly confines and one of the more beautiful settings for a football field in the whole world, I can tell you that. Thumb Butte and Prescott in the background, but tonight all eyes are on the field. And Lee Williams has a first down on the Badger 40-yard line, down 28-0. Quinn out of the gun. Another handoff up the middle this time and bouncing off the right-hand side, trying to turn the corner. Nothing doing this time. And I believe he's going to get back about a yard, and here comes a flag. Host of Badgers trying to bring him down, Kelly, and I think that's where the flag was.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the call here is.
Okay,
Johan Gunderman made the initial hit. We got a face mask on the Badgers.
There it is. So Lee Williams is going to get a first down now. Automatic personal foul, right, on a face mask.
Yeah, automatic first down.
Yep. Personal foul, 15-yard penalty for the Badgers, and that brings the Badgers, the Lee Williams, now down to the 25-yard line on a 1st and 10. And they're moving now.
This is really the first time that the Volunteers have threatened all night long.
So we're just underway in the fourth quarter, 28-0. And Lee Williams starting to build up a head of steam here. 2 in the backfield. Out of the gun. Looks long. Under pressure. Tries to dump the screen off. And they're saying he got it at the 25, but no gain there. 2nd and 10.
Cooper Kassoon with the tackle. And he helped the guy that he tackled up.
Well, that's the Badgers for you.
There you go.
Sportsmanship. We're going to beat you on the line, but we'll pick you up again.
Play went for no gain, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10 at the Badger 25.
They're still trying to hit those slanted screens there. And they've been fairly effective through most of the game, just hasn't yielded any points for Lee Williams. High snap, and Quinn's going to take it himself. I think that was a busted play. Just got the ball and got up to the line of scrimmage again.
Host of Badgers stopped him.
I never knew how many Badgers it took to make a host. More than 3, I think.
2 or more.
2 or more, there you go. When you can't see a number, it's a host of Badgers.
Going to bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 10. Again, the ball sitting right at the Badger 25.
Fairly effective moving, but now the Badgers are stiffening on defense, and they're smelling it now because it's 3rd and 10. They got their backs to the goal line, but I think that is bringing out the best in Prescott. Out of the gun, straight back, and he nearly caught. Quinn gets away from it. He's going to have to run, and they pull him down again back at the line of scrimmage, and that's it. I thought he got had back there in the backfield, and he spun away from the Badger that had him. Managed to get back to the line of scrimmage, but now 4th and 10.
Gunnar Parra made the initial hit.
Swore he had him. Good play there to get away from him.
Yeah. No gain on the play, so it's 4th down and 10 again at the Badger 25.
Of course you're going for it. You can't kick it. You got 20. You're at the 25. You got to take a chance. You're down 28-0. By the way, the clock is running. We're down to 9:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 4th and 10. And folks, you're listening to Prescott Badger football on the news, 1490 and 103.5 FM. This is KYCA Prescott, K278CN Prescott, closing in on 8:55 on a gorgeous Friday night in October in Prescott. The colors aren't quite out yet, but it's promising to be a beautiful fall. 4th and 10 for Lee Williams. And here we go. Quick pitch, I think they're going to try a halfback option. There it goes into the end zone, just over the receiver's head. Incomplete. Nice try by Lee Williams.
Pitched it to the running back, Thomas Dockstader, and he tried to throw the ball into the end zone. It actually was a pretty good throw, just slightly overthrown, incomplete, and the Badgers are going to take over on their own 25.
That would have been a heck of a play.
That would have been.
It was that close.
There were 2 Badgers in front of the receiver, and
if the receiver had been a yard deeper, he would have had it.
He would have had it.
I mean, nothing the Badgers could have done. So, 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line, and 8:42 remaining in the game with a 28-0 lead. Good way to start the conference season, Kelly, but you got to admit, after seeing this game, everybody needs a rest, I think. It's time to take stock and know that the tougher games are ahead.
Yeah, and you just can't, again, you can't take anything or anybody lightly.
1st and 10, Uriah is back for the Badgers. 28-0, 8:42 remaining. The Badgers have one wide left and now a timeout for the Badgers. Their second one of the half, I do believe. Well, folks, Badger football is sponsored in part by Olson's for Healthy Animals here in Prescott and also in Chino, Dewey, the Verde Valley, and Flagstaff, where good enough just isn't. Another fine Badger sponsor, Steve Sischka, and Olson's for Healthy Animals.
By the way, I had dinner Wednesday night with Bill Shepard Jr. down in Phoenix.
Really? And how are things down there?
Had a great 2-hour conversation with him.
I'm sure. That's a wealth of information there.
His dad totally volunteered his services for 22 years. He went to both home and away football games, and in 22 years missed one game.
Yep. The legend still lives, that's for sure.
That's why this field's named Bill Shepard Field.
That's right. That's right. I got to tell you, and I'll tell you a little bit of something when I learned when I got to Prescott in high school. But here we are, the Badgers now 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. They've got a tight offense here, and now there's a penalty flag. Somebody moved. Somebody jumped that time. And it was Lee Williams.
Encroachment.
So 1st and 5 now for the Badgers on the 30-yard line with 8:41 to go.
One of the members of the volunteer defensive line made contact with the Badger lineman.
Well, that's enough. So now the Badgers have a 1st and 5, really haven't run anything off the clock. A 28-0 lead. Uriah takes the ball hands off quickly, and nothing doing there. I think the Badgers are going to lose some yardage on that one.
Yeah, as soon as Brazino got the handoff from Tanette, he was immediately hit.
But that does start the clock, and we've got 8.5 remaining here in the game. Brought down about 3 yards shy, so 2nd and 8 now for the Badgers. One man in the backfield behind Uriah, who's in the gun. They're taking their time. You can at 28-0, of course. Uriah Hands off up the middle and now bouncing off the left, and first down and more for the Badgers. Finally tripped up at about the 41-yard line.
That's Isaac Brazino again.
And about a 15-yard gain for him, 1st and 10.
Kudos to him. He was going to go off tackle, left tackle, and he just bounced it to the outside and picked up enough yardage for the first down. Ball sitting at the Badger 40-yard line, 1st and 10.
So again, the Badgers taking their time. He didn't make it out of bounds, so 7.5 minutes remaining now in the fourth quarter. Badgers sitting on a 28-0 lead. Uriah Tennett taking his time in the backfield. Can't blame him at this point. And here we go. Here's the snap. Again, a handoff up the middle, and this time a little bit of positive yardage. Badgers got about 3 on that one, maybe 4. And here comes a late penalty. I'm wondering if we got a late hit. And we're starting to see some frustration here. Let's see what the call is.
Unsportsmanlike calls against both teams. So that's going to, I think, cause the play to have to be
a rerun here?
A rerun,
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't do that. Well, I'll tell you something. When I first got here in October of 1986, even then the Badgers had their daily announcements on television at the end of the first period.
Right.
We had about 10 minutes. And the kids would talk during the thing and everything. They're going to call it, actually, the Badgers, they're going to put them, give them the 4-yard gain, and it's going to be 2nd down and 6 here for the Badgers. I got a long story. It's going to take a few minutes. So 6.5 minutes to go. Clock is running, and again, Uriah Tennett taking his time in the Badger backfield.
Jason, that means that those penalties occurred after a whistle had blown.
Gotcha. Okay. Handoff up the middle, met right there, and this is going to be a loss for the Badgers. Probably about a 4 to 5 yard loss. No, they're going to give him forward momentum to the 42.
Again, the ball
41.
carrier was number 10, Jacob Chamberlain.
So 3rd and 9 for the Badgers with 6 minutes remaining and counting. So we had these television announcements in the morning, and the kids would talk over it. You couldn't hear much, but all of a sudden one day, and I didn't even realize it, the scene on the TV shifted, and everybody got real quiet real fast. And I'm looking on TV, and there's an interview going on, and there's an older guy in a wheelchair. And I'm saying, who is this? And everybody, shh, it's Gail Gardner.
Oh, wow.
And it was one of his last interviews.
Wow.
Before he passed away.
He was on KPHS television.
He was. So the Badgers now call a timeout, I think.
You know who's an alum of KPHS television?
Besides me and you.
Yeah.
What haven't you done?
My junior and senior year,
my senior year.
Yeah.
Okay, so they finally took me after a little while.
Sorry about all this Prescott and Prescott High School history.
Well, that's okay. I mean, come on. If you know, folks, you know. And if you don't, you'll learn.
Yeah.
Okay? So the Badgers have a 28-0 lead, and I honestly think they need this week off. They really – I think the fall break blues have hit the Prescott team.
You're saying that the fall break has come at the right time?
I think so, and maybe some players down there are thinking a little bit too much about it. As it is a 28-0 lead, and I'm not saying that Lee Williams has been that bad.
Right.
They've done pretty good tonight.
Yeah.
The screen passes, their punter has been magnificent. It's unfortunate that you have to see the punter that much, but he has done a great job. Otherwise, it could have been a whole lot worse. So here we go. Badgers are finally back up to the line, about 5.5 minutes to go in the game. Uriah pitches it off behind him, and this time I think they're going to have him, a loss of probably about 4 or 5 on that one. And now the Badgers have a 4th down.
Going to have to punt.
They got to on this. Yeah, down on their own 36-yard line right now. 4th and about 13 yards to go. And Gunderman's going to come in here. I think he's going to be punting the ball.
The Badgers tried to run a jet sweep with Cooper Kassoon that time.
Just couldn't turn the corner.
Very good pursuit by the right side of the Volunteer defense.
This is not a terrible Lee Williams team. They have been moving the ball occasionally. It's just the Badgers are tougher on the line today, and Lee Williams just hasn't managed to generate very much momentum. Nevertheless, 28-0. Badgers getting ready to punt the ball with 4:35 and counting remaining. Long, high kick into Lee Williams territory. They're going to try and pick it up, and he receives it at the 15, and off we go. 4 Badgers down there right on him, and he manages to turn the corner and get some yardage, and now he's got some daylight. He's across midfield and still going. Only got Gunderman to beat, although the Badgers are coming up behind him, and they finally bring him down at about the 14-yard line. Heck of a return there, 70-yard return or so for Lee Williams, and here's their threat.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it 65 yards.
Okay, I'll take that. 1st and 10 at about the 15-yard line for Prescott, for Lee Williams. I think this is the deepest they've been.
Like a lot of sports, games are a matter of angles. We had 5 Badgers right together trying to tackle that return man, and the return man got right around the right side of him and came down the line.
Yep, just could not make the turn and make the angle. There it is. 1st and 10 at the 15 for Lee Williams. 28-0 Badgers, 4:11 remaining in the ball game. Let's see if Lee Williams can do something with this. Handoff up the middle, and now the penalty markers come in, I believe. No, I didn't see one. Okay, they just called him for a loss very quickly. 2nd and about 12.
Cooper Kassoon again leading a host of Badgers in on that tackle. Ball carrier for the Volunteers again was number 5, Thomas Dockstader. Ball sitting at the 17-yard line.
Okay, 2nd and 12 for the Badgers. 3:30 remaining. The clock is moving. Lee Williams trying to punch it in once. And we've got whistles here real fast. What are we going to call here?
False start on Lee Williams.
Yep. Okay, that'll bring it back another 5 yards and stop the clock at 3:23 remaining. So again, ASU football tomorrow night, pregame at 4 o'clock, kickoff at 5. We'll have live coverage on KYCA. And to those who were asking me about after last week's game, folks, haven't you been on the team yet? Don't you know what the team is? You're going to find out later in October. You'll all be part of the team. What's that all about? You're just going to have to wait. You can't get it out of me. Okay, 2nd and long, and a throw into the end zone, and that's good enough for a touchdown. And Lee Williams is finally on the board. 28-6 now. Perfect passing play for the Volunteers.
By the way, the person that received that touchdown toss from quarterback Morgan Quinn was Darius Walima.
Ah, okay.
Number 10.
Number 10. So now 28-6, 2:56 remaining in the ball game. Here comes the extra point, and that is
good.
Good, right down the middle. Okay, so with 2:56 remaining in the ball game, Prescott 28, Lee Williams 7. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back with the rest of the game after this.
Arizona Seamless Gutters, locally owned and operated since 1981. Call us today, 928-778-1818 for a free estimate. Arizona Seamless Gutters. When it pours, we rain.
Back at Bill Shepherd Field with 2:56 remaining and the Badgers leading 28-7. Lee Williams getting set to kick off. Well, not the worst performance in the world for the Badgers, but after last week's game with Combs, where there was a lot of high energy, you just haven't felt it that much tonight. This is a game of two teams trying to grind things out.
You mean football's a game of emotions?
Supposed to be.
It is.
That's what Vince Lombardi always said.
It's really a game of emotions.
The great man once said, practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
One of the best. Well, here's the kickoff.
All right, we got the kickoff for Lee Williams. They're going to squib it and go for a onside kick, which it bounces too far right into the hands of a Badger, and the Badgers have it on their own 44-yard line. 1st and 10. Should have expected that, I guess.
You know, we've had several personal foul penalties called tonight, but I keep seeing players on both teams helping the opposing side up.
Yeah,
that just happened on that kickoff.
There's no animosity here, really. Just and you know what? Lee Williams has not really gotten frustrated here.
No.
So kudos to them and kudos to both teams, because I know we had a few problems earlier in the season with some teams coming up from the Valley and getting a little hot under the collar occasionally, but character is what it's all about here at the high school level. 28-7, the Badgers have the ball with 2:54 remaining in the ball game. Uriah Tennett still calling the signals for the Badgers tonight, as they are going to move to 5-1 on the season. And the pitch out to the left-hand side, some daylight, and a first down and a little bit more as the Badgers get across midfield and down to the 44.
Isaac Brazino on the pitch from Uriah Tennant, picked up about 11 yards or so, enough for a first down. Ball sitting at the Volunteer 44.
And now the clock continuing to run, 2:27 remaining in the ball game. The Badgers content to let the clock run, and I think Lee Williams is as well. A good game, a good solid game on both sides. The Badgers is the better team tonight. And a handoff up the middle, back and forth, and probably a few yards there down to about the 42. So 2nd and 7 for the Badgers.
Isaac Brazino, he's carried the ball quite a few times tonight.
We seem to be focusing on one Badger almost every game. Usually it's Uriah Tennett. Brazino's had some good yardage tonight.
Yeah, he sure has.
2nd and 7 for the Badgers, 1:50 remaining, and the clock is ticking. Uriah Tennett trying to draw Lee Williams off sides, now comes under center. Rethinks it, backs up, taking his time, and here's the snap. Handoff up the middle this time. Brazino, again, I believe, finally brought down at about the 37-yard line. A few more yards for him.
That's Chamberlain.
Chamberlain, thank you.
On that carry. And we've got a Volunteer down on the ground right now.
So the clock stops with 1:16 remaining in the ball game. You don't like to see that, and I think that looks like a cramp or maybe just a hit. He is moving, and here come the trainers. The Badgers have done themselves proud the first half of this season. Now they get a bye, 2 Thursday night games, and 5-1. We knew they were going to be good. I just don't think we knew they were going to be this good. This is a good, solid Badger team going into the conference.
The game that we won that really surprised me was the Northwest Christian game.
That was a tough one all around. As Lee Williams, player, now walks off the field, he's under his own power. He's fine. Probably, again, the wind knocked out of him.
If you were an unbiased fan watching that game, you had to go away thinking that's one of the better high school football games I've seen.
Yes, all around. 42 to 41.
42-41.
Oh,
yeah.
What a great game. And you know what? Even the game down at Thunderbird, that was two really good teams hacking away at each other.
Yeah.
And Thunderbird just came out on top. They are the better team there.
That running back that Thunderbird has is really tough.
One of the best players in the entire state.
Yeah.
On a consistent
I'm
basis.
trying to remember his name, and I can't think of it right now.
I can see him. So the Badgers are now gathering. It looks like they're going to go into the victory formation as we've got under a minute now and counting. 28-7, a good game on both sides, but the Badgers, the better team tonight. They're going to go 1-0 in the conference, 5-1 overall, and they are going to get a well-earned 2-week break. There's probably the last snap of the ball game, and that is probably going to do it. So the Badgers come away 28-7 with the victory tonight. Well-played game, just time for a break, I think. So we're going to take our final break of the night and have our final thoughts as the Badgers come away with a 28-7 victory. Stay with us. We'll wrap things up from Bill Shepherd Field right after this. All right, we are back here at Bill Shepherd Field. The final score, Prescott 28, Lee Williams 7. The Badgers 1-0 in the conference, 5-1 overall. So, Kelly, a 2-week break. What are the Badgers, what are the coaches thinking right now?
I think you go back and you use this next week to review fundamentals on both sides of the ball. It's really hard to do that when you have a game at the end of 1 week and a game the next week. But with a 2-week break, actually a little bit less than 2 weeks, we're talking 13 days.
Right.
There is time this next week to focus on going back, and as Vince Lombardi once indicated, the Green Bay Packers, gentlemen, I want you to know this is a football.
That's right.
and so you go back to the fundamentals, and you just get back to concentrating on execution of those.
Well, you've got a 2-week break. Now the Badgers are going to have the tough part of their schedule. At Flagstaff at the Dome. Then they're then they're at Bradshaw the next Thursday. And a Thursday night game is not the easiest game in the world. Then Friday at home to their final home game against Coconino. And then at Cottonwood, which you've got to think the Coconino game is for the conference.
Yes.
And that's going to be a tough one. Unfortunately, it's going to be here because Coconino is one of the toughest places to play.
One of the games I'm going to be interested in seeing what the results were was tonight's Coconino-Bradshaw game.
It's going to be a good indication of where Bob Young has his team tonight.
Yes, yeah.
And, looking forward to that. If Bradshaw can upset them, that throws the conference. It's Prescott's to lose at that point.
Yes.
All right, folks, I think we're done here tonight. Final score, Prescott 28, Lee Williams 7. Kelly, thanks for coming in, and I'm sure we'll see you again later in the season.
Oh, yes.
All right. And a big shout out to your dad.
And I'm very excited about all the new things going on with KYCA.
The team. You're going to see the team. You folks need to be part of the team. You will be. And what is that? You can't get it out of me yet. You'll find out later in October. But Kelly, a big shout out to your dad, Cal. I know he's listening. And thanks to him, and thanks to you, and thanks to everybody out there, all the Badger fans. And we need to talk some more history, I think.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed doing it.
All right. For John Rust back away, and then, of course, Scott Harker back at the studios, Andrew Zinzaletta on the camera, Suzanne Zinzaletta in support here in this booth. I'm Jason Zinzaletta. Kelly, good night, and good night to all of you folks. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday night.